Welcome back. This is Anil Sharma, motivational speaker, corporate trainer and life coach. If you are the average middle class person in India or lower middle class person in India who is solely dependent on your monthly income, and at the end of every month you struggle to make your expenses meet, or if you happen to be that small time entrepreneur who's always struggling to meet your expenses, or if you are a self-employed person and find it very difficult that prices are rising so high that it is very difficult to run your household expenses, then this video is definitely going to help you today. In this video, I am going to talk about 5 time-tested principles through which you can also create wealth on a small amount of income which you do have. Friends, creating wealth is not about inheriting big amount of money. Friends, creating wealth is not about inheriting large amount of property. Creating wealth is all about mental attitude. Creating wealth is all about discipline. Creating wealth is all about consistency, and most importantly, creating wealth is all about wise investment strategies. There are certain rules following which you can also create wealth no matter how small amount of income you do have, no matter in what economic strata you do fall. But if you do sincerely follow these rules, you can also create good amount of wealth. And throughout human history, most of the people, 90% of people who have created wealth out of nowhere, out of no inheritance at all, they did follow these 5 principles. As I told you earlier, creating wealth is all about mental attitude. If you look at the list of billionaires in this world, I think there are, according to my knowledge, there are around 2,754 or something billionaires in this world whose net worth is $1 billion or above. 90% of these individuals, 90% of these billionaires are self-made. That means at the start of their career, they did not inherit a single penny or very small amount of money from their ancestors or from their parents. They did create this wealth on their own. And when they started, they were not having large chunk of money. When they started, they were not having great amount of income. But they did follow certain rules. They did follow certain path, and following that certain path, they were able to create great amount of wealth. So if they can create great amount of wealth, why can't you? In this video, I am going to talk about certain principles following which you can also create wealth. So what are those principles? Rule number 1 says that whatever amount of money comes in your hand, you save 10% out of it. And soon, if you follow this rule sincerely, soon you will get to know, soon you will realize that good amount of money, good chunk of money you have deposited at your disposal. What you need to do with this deposited amount of money, what you need to do with this money which you are saving at the end of every month, or which you are saving at the end of every cycle or every week, you need to wisely invest that money so that it grows. The rule number 2 says whatever savings, savings you have after saving 10% of your monthly income, your weekly income or your quarterly income, put that money to earn. Invest that money at such places, invest that money in such ways that it grows. That means its children, its grandchildren. For example, you have saved 100 rupees. So how you will put that 100 rupees to work? How you will put that 100 rupees to work? How you will invest that 100 rupees in such a way that it becomes 150? It grows. So put your money to work. Put your money to earn more money. That is rule number 2. So save 10% out of the total income you are having, and this saving, this saved amount of money should get you more money, should earn you more money. Now next rule says, do not fall victim to greedy schemes or Ponzi schemes. Do not fall a victim of your greed, because when you start earning money, greed increases, and greed is the main reason of getting into a trap, a financial trap, or getting into a trap of sort of Ponzi schemes. So do not be too greedy to earn quick amount of money. Do not find shortcuts, do not find short ways to earn more money out of the investment you have made. If you look at the recent history, most of the people who did fall victim to Ponzi schemes, who did fall victim to different sorts of scams, were people who were middle class or who were lower middle class. And why did they fall victim to these Ponzi schemes? Because they were greedy to earn more money. They were greedy to have higher returns in short amount of time. Higher return in short amount of time is always fishy. So if some scheme or some person or some organization is giving you That scheme which promises higher returns in small amount of time raise red flags. You have to be satisfied with a steady increase of your steady and even slow, I would say steady and slow rate of growth of your wealth. So never be too greedy to earn big amount of money, to earn big chunk of money in a small amount of time, because sooner or later you are going to be in a trap, and that trap is going to eat away all your savings. That trap is going to diminish all your investment and all your earnings. This is next rule. Always take advice from people who are proficient in money management. In respect of money, in cases of money, if you need some advice, go to a person who has a proven track record in money management. Go to a professional, go to a professional person, go to a professional agency. Don't take advice from your friend who is not proficient in money management. Do not take advice from a person who is not in a professional way involved in money management. So do not take advice from people who are not proficient, who are not expert in money management. Always take sound advice, always take genuine advice from people who are proficient in money management. And the next rule says, cut your expenses. If you want to create wealth out of a small income, look at your monthly expenses. Sit down with paper and pen, make a list. What are your monthly expenses? And choose out of those monthly expenses where you can cut your expenses that are not so necessarily. You will be surprised to know that so many unnecessary expenses we are doing. So if you want to create wealth on a small amount of money, you have to cut your unnecessary expenses, and these unnecessary expenses will definitely add to the coffers of your savings, will definitely add to the coffers of your investment. So friends, these are certain rules. I'll repeat again these rules so that your journey to make wealth, your journey to create wealth start from today only. Whatever amount of money you are getting in your hand, save 10% of that. This is rule number 1. Rule number 2 says, put that saved amount of money to work. That means your saved amount of money should not lie dormant in a bank account that gives 3 or 4% return, saving bank account. You put that money to work in such a way that it grows, that it multiplies. Of course at a slow rate, of course at a steady rate, but it grows. Next rule says, do not be too greedy to get great returns. Do not be too greedy to get higher return, faster return in a short period of time. You are definitely going to get into a trap. So do not be too greedy to create great amount of wealth in a short period of time. Next rule says, take advice only from people who are proficient in matters of money management. Do not take advice from a layman. Do not take advice from your relative who is not proficient in matters of money management. If you know, do not take advice from any person who is just left, right, center giving you any type of advice. And next, and the most important rule says, cut your unnecessary expenses. Friends, these are some of the time-tested principles following which you can also create great amount of wealth, because some of the people I personally know, they have created great amount of wealth, good amount of wealth following these rules. So your journey of financial independence, your journey of financial freedom should start from today. I hope you would have liked the video. If you did like the video, press the bell icon, like, subscribe and share. And thanks for watching.